Paul in Lucerne, California. Hey, Paul, you wanted to talk about Rand Paul?
Yeah, Tom. I wanted to talk about Rand Paul. He's kind of a hypocrite, and he talks to a bunch of TV Christians, and they're all hypocrites.
Okay.
The reason why I say this is they are using the same old tired argument that rich people are blessed by God.
The Calvinist argument.
They claim to read and they claim to worship, called the Bible, which I think is a really cool book, and I do call myself a Christian, by the way. In this book, it says a camel has a better chance of passing through the eye of a needle than the rich person does getting into heaven.
Right.
So in my humble opinion, if you're going to be blessed by an entity making you rich, it'd be the devil making you rich, not God. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, so you're an anti-Calvinist. The Calvinists, they were faced with this conundrum. If you accept original sin, if you accept, Genesis 1, or maybe it's Genesis 2, the idea that humans were born of Eve, and Eve was the original sinner because she ate the apple that the serpent offered her, and so therefore she was cursed that she would be in pain with childbirth, and all of her children would be born with the mark of sin, with this original sin. And therefore, if everybody is evil, if everybody is a sinner, how do we find, if we want people to lead us, how do we find those people who are actually the least evil, or maybe even not evil at all? And the answer historically has been one of two things. You find people who are either hereditarily pure, and this is the hereditary kingdom theory, right? And you've got the king, we just had a new prince born, or princess. What was it? It was a kid. It was a boy that they gave birth to, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, it was a boy. So we have a new prince, a new princeling in England, and they have on their coins, the Brits on their coins, the four letters RX something something that stands for, by the grace of God she rules. And so there was that, or it was, put the Pope in charge. The Catholic Church conquered most of Europe at one point. And so, the Pope's the least evil among us, so we'll let him be in charge. But as we got away from kingdoms and we got away from the Catholic Church running things, the Calvinists said, well, how do we know who God has blessed? Who God is trying to tell us this guy's a good guy? It must be the people who are rich. And thus, this whole Calvinistic notion that riches display God's blessing. But you're saying that because Jesus said it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven, it must be that the Calvinists had it 180 degrees wrong, and that the richest among us are actually the worst sinners, the closest to Satan, and that if we are looking for people to serve us in high political office, we should look among the poor. Make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you look at their actions speak louder than words.
Well, we used to have a political system in this country where average people could run for political office. This last election cycle was the first time in the history of the United States that more than half of the House of Representatives were millionaires or multimillionaires. Prior to that, there were a lot of average people who went to Congress. And, the Jimmy Stewart goes to Congress thing. And but the Supreme Court has made money sacred, saying that it's protected by the First Amendment. That in the Buckley versus Vallejo decision 38 years ago this week, and so for 38 years now, which set up all kinds of corruption and things. For 38 years, we've got this. But Paul, interesting point. Thanks for the call.